Man, it's hard to believe that we're already into April here on Manitoulin Island. It feels like we're in the dead of winter, but we're only a few weeks out from the turkey opener and spring bear season. This week, we're introducing some new pro staff on Fuel the Fire TV, Northern Boys Outfitting, Al Strader, and of course, Manitoulin's own CODY Hunter. Rob takes a real good bear with Landon up in Wawa. Stay tuned. You're watching Fuel the Fire TV. Life offers no guarantees, but the one thing we've learned for sure is that the time we have is indeed precious. The more time we spend with family, friends, and with nature can make the difference between living a good life and living a great one. Join us on our quest to be participants rather than observers, to learn from our mistakes, to share our successes and our failures as we spend all of the time we have chasing our dreams, fueling our passion, and fueling the fire in the great outdoors. Fuel the Fire TV wouldn't be possible without the help and support of these fine sponsors.
Hey folks, we're standing in front of Silver Falls, which is in Wawa, Ontario. Me and Landon have come up this week to do some bear hunting with our friend Kyle.
So we're heading into a lake just in between Wawa and White River, just north of Highway 17. And a lot of times this time of year, late August, early September, into September, we find lobster mushrooms. When you're out grouse hunting, there's lots of lobster mushrooms on the side of the road. So lobster mushrooms are excellent eating mushroom. They're dense and they take a lot of cleaning, but once you do get them cleaned, they're excellent to eat. You can dry them and they'll last for a long time. One of the key things is when you do harvest them, try to cut them off and then tap them, get all the spores in the area so that years to come there'll be more mushrooms there. But you can see they have a nice white flesh and the texture is really dense, so it's a really good eating mushroom. Pretty unique, nothing like it in the bush to mistake it for any mushroom that's going to cause you any harm.
Check out the honey burn that Kyle put out there on the stone. See how the smoke's rolling? It's kind of almost telling us what direction the wind's going. So the wind's good for us over here. It's pretty cool. There's a bear coming right through there. See them in the trees. Day 2 of our Wawa bear hunt. We just had another small bear come in. Yesterday when we checked the camera here, there was 2 or 3 pretty decent bears that were a good foot over the barrel. That guy was just basically even with the barrel, so got big enough to take him, and he's gonna be a really nice bear in the future for sure. It's still early in the day. We came in around 8:30 this morning because these bears were on the bait at around 1 yesterday. We're going to stay here till about 1:30 or so and then head back, have some leak, get showered up again, and come back out for the evening hunt. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning for Fuel the Fire TV is made possible by Best Tech. This segment of Fuel the Fire TV is brought to you by Indigenous Tourism Ontario.
Okay, it's day 2. We're back here on stand. The bait still hasn't been hit, other than that little bear that was in this morning. Coming right out here to the bait. See him in there. Sit still, because I don't want him to catch your movement. We just shot a medium-sized bear. So, you're pretty excited, aren't you? He was pretty exciting. And he died right here at the bait pile, so I'm gonna give Kyle a call and get him to come out.
Hey buddy, bring a sleigh. No, he's medium sized, but he's probably one of those 3 that we seen last night on the camera. Okay, this is our bear hunt in Wawa. Me and Lennon harvested this nice, about 200-pound bear. Pretty exciting, eh, buddy? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got to thank my buddy Kyle here. He's been asking me for the last couple of years to come up and hunt with him, and I finally took the time to do it, and I'm glad I did. Really thank you a lot, Kyle. Appreciate it.
I'm glad you guys were able to harvest a nice male bear.
Remember, folks, to fuel your passion and fuel your fire, you got to get outdoors. We finalized our bear hunt there yesterday, and today we're switching gears and we're after some walleye. Today we're fishing a lake between Wawa and White River. It's Forgotten Lake. We're fishing walleye, and Landon's already put 1 fish in the boat. It's early in the day. Let's see how we make out.
It looks like a perch that you can see. It's been really good. Just got a nice fish. Second fish of the night. It's a beaut. Remember, feel your passion, get outdoors.
Great job, Rob and Landon. You know, Landon is really becoming a great junior pro staff. He loves to fish, he loves to hunt, and he loves being in front of the camera. I think Rob is gonna be his cameraman in the upcoming years. All right, we're down at Amaranth, Ontario at Wayne Party and Wildlife Artistry. We're here to pick up our 2016 bucks and geese that we shot. So let's check it out. Hey buddy, how's it going?
How's things?
Great, man. Am I glad to be here today?
Oh, yeah, I've got all your stuff ready for you.
Oh man, check this out. I am so excited, dude. You know what? This is like one of the best, it's like Christmas if you're a hunter, when you go to the trophy shop and pick up your trophy. Wayne does a great job here. This buck is a 10-pointer that Rob shot with his crossbow. It's a gnarly buck. It's all beat up. It looks like, what do you think this is caused by? Like a bacteria or a parasite?
More probably just injury when he was in velvet.
Injury in velvet.
Yeah. So as he was, you know, the antlers are getting mature and stuff like that. So.
How old do you think this deer is?
I'm guessing him at around probably 4.5 years old.
4.5 years old for Manitoulin. That's a good deer. It's a mature buck for us. This deer here is my best with a bow, 120 class you know, whitetail buck. Again, probably
Probably in around
4.5.
4.5.
Both deer field dressed at 205 pounds each. This is a cool feather on a turkey that we shot in season 1. It's got an individual kind of 2 white feathers in the middle. And then from our snow goose hunt, this is Cody's, one of Cody's snow goose kills, and it was a blue, which is fairly rare, right?
Yeah, usually blues you're looking at probably around maybe 300-400 to every blue you would see.
Right. This green head was a wicked day in being season 2, where these green heads were just raining down on us. I actually only got a little bit of footage because it was so much fun. I put the camera down because I wanted some of the action.
Just banging away.
Yeah, it was just awesome. In this week's Trophy Tales, our taxidermist Wayne Party from Wildlife Artistry Custom Taxidermy down here in Orangeville is going to share with us some strategies we can use when we take our trophies in the field. I was lucky enough to harvest this spring bear right at the end of that season. And he's a big bear, 300 pounds, maybe 350. And all I was concerned about was getting the meat off of him and into a cooler, as well as the hide. Wayne's going to share with us some other things we should consider.
What I'm trying to point out here when Neil was talking about getting his bear late in the season is when he did skin the bear, which is great, trying to get it into the freezer, is that he left too much fat on the skin when they were skinning it. And what happens there is when you do bring it to your taxidermist, the thawing process will actually take longer. So there's very good chance that bacteria could start to grow. When you are skinning your bear out, you want to try to get down as close as you can to the pores of where the pore of the hair comes through the skin, leaving probably, I would say, anywhere between ½ an inch of fat only. If you leave 2 or 3 inches of fat on the skin when you're skinning it out, that's going to create a problem to your taxidermist when he's trying to flush the skin.
That's a great tip for all of us hunters. You know, we're so careful when it comes to our preparation of our trophies and the handling of the meat. Hide is, again, very important, but there you go. Not only getting it cool, but remembering to be mindful of that bacteria that could set in. Thanks a lot, Wayne. That was a great tip for us.
No problem.
This segment of Fuel the Fire TV is brought to you by Ramaco's Source for Adventure. Welcome back to Fuel the Fire TV. We're here at the Sudbury Sportsman Show, and we're working with Al Strader and Laura from Northern Boys Outfitting. Al just did a talk on bear hunting. It was a great talk, by the way. And we're happy to be working with these guys as our pro staffs for Fuel the Fire. Let's check out one of Al's hunts.
Well, we're on the road again, heading up north for black bear, going toward Western Ontario. Bears are still on their spring feeding cycle, so they're eating a lot of grass and a lot of the greenage around in the clear cuts and stuff. But right now I got the Tika, do a little bit of shooting before we head out and see if we can't see a nice black bear, hopefully. Well, looks like my game plan of going back to that cut I used to hunt a lot when I was younger is not the game plan we're gonna go with anymore. It's like they took the bridge out and took a walk, and it's she gone. But there's another spot a little ways away, but we're gonna give that a try instead. Well, we used to see quite a few bears in that cut. It's really growing up now, but this weather is just crazy. It's on and off, and it's just not the day I thought we'd have. Anyways, oh, bear. Just kind of peek over and see. Breathe. Right there. Take your time, bud. Take your time. Take your time. Breathe. Just gotta check. Oh, nice bear.
shot, son. Good shot.
Laura had to go to town. She had an interview, so Dad filled in as the cameraman. Never really used one before except for an old VHS one, eh? That was it. So we came down this cut here, old cut, really tall. We figured we'd just take a look, and nothing. So we started driving out. Just as we crossed this little pole line, black bear, nice black bear, just sitting on the pole line.
A good shot.
Thank you very much.
Love you, son. Love you too, Dad.
Right there. Awesome.
Right on, buddy. Good job, son. Love you, man.
Thanks for filming.
No
That's
problem.
beautiful.
Nice bear.
Wow, eh?
Good 2-3. Still between 200 and 300 pound.
Yeah, probably about 300. It's a nice bear.
Oh, for sure.
Well, wasn't a super long hunt, only a couple days. Wasn't much sign, but we eventually seen this beautiful boar. He's probably upwards 300 plus. He's a really nice, really big bear. We seen him a long ways out. He was actually on this hydro pole, kind of scratching and chewing at it, and he was rubbing his back and stuff. So it gave us lots of time to get set up and get a good shot on him. So kind of looked at the footage. I think I might have missed there with the first shot, bear fever. So I think that's kind of what happened. And then the second shot though, hit him nice and high on the shoulder, and he dropped right here. So it was beautiful. It was a good shot, probably about 250, 220 yards. It was a good long shot anyways, but 300 Win Mag did the job. I'm really excited. Happy I got to bring my dad out here, and he filmed the hunt for me. So it was a really awesome time being able to hunt with him again. And looking forward to the next hunt. And now Laura's up next.
You know what, guys? That was a great bear. Al Strader. These guys are really trying to make it happen here in Northern Ontario, and our hats go off to them. We're enthralled for them to be working with us here at Fuel the Fire TV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. This segment is brought to you by Kickaboo Meat Seasoning. Welcome back to Fuel the Fire TV. In this week's Wild Game Kitchen, we're going to be preparing a bear roast. Now, for those of us that don't already know this, bear meat makes great table fare. It tastes similar to venison, maybe a little bit sweeter, and it's actually quite tender. We've got a 3-pound bear roast here, and we're going to prep it with a new product from Kickaboo Shops. They're a meat seasoning company here in Canada, and they make a number of products that you can get right online. Now, this particular product that we're going to use, I can smell the soy sauce in here. I think there's a hint of oyster and some lemon juice. What we're going to do is we're going to create a marinade, and it's actually called a meat juice marinade. We're going to put the bear roast in a Ziploc bag, and we're going to put about half of this bottle of marinade over this bear roast. And we're going to zip that up like so, and just make sure it's nice and soaked in there. And we're going to put that in the fridge overnight. The great things about fall bear hunting is the whole process of baiting. Now, we've got a couple of pro staff, CODY Hunter and STACY RAYNER, that love to hunt bears, and they love to hunt the bait they use to start off our bear baits in August. That's right, I said hunt the bait, because what we're going to use are carp. I'm looking forward to this. I've never done this before. These guys are going to show us how it's done. Bull hunting for carp with those guys is a ton of fun. And after a couple of weeks in that bait bag, those bears are coming in from miles around. We're gonna grab this bear roast that's been in this meat juice marinade overnight. So we're gonna sear it because we wanna seal this roast and have all of those juices and all of that flavor in there. So we're just going to roll it in some flour, like so. And then we're gonna put it in some olive oil and we're gonna sear it so that we can seal all of that nutrients in. All right, we're almost done. Now we have our bear roast. It's caramelized. It looks delicious already. And the last thing to do is put it in the slow cooker and add my favorite spice, which is bacon. Bear meat is really lean, so we're just gonna give it a little bit of fat to help that roast. All right, the roast is in the slow cooker. It's gonna sit in there for 6 to 7 hours. While we're waiting, let's check out Cody's hunt in his bear stand.
It's June the 12th. We've only had a couple more days of season left here. We've got a couple pretty good bears hitting the bait. It's 6 o'clock and we're gonna stick her out till dark. Hopefully we see some. All right.
Okay, so we've given that about 10 minutes or so. And now we're ready to cut into this bad boy. Now, you know, Cody, when I saw his footage, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for him to pull the trigger on that bear, and he just didn't. He's a patient guy. He was looking for a specific bear, and hats off to him for doing that. But I'm sure if he tasted this bear, that he'd be quick to pull that trigger, because it's absolutely, this looks absolutely delicious. I love to do things in a simple way when it comes to cooking. Oh man, that is tender. For all of us that already know this, bear meat is great. If you don't, you have to try it. And this is an easy recipe on the Wild Game Kitchen. Good job on the camera, guys. You know, we're really happy to be working with Northern Boys Outfitting TV for season 2 and season 3. Al Schrader is really putting his time in to get those shots for us. And of course, bear hunter extraordinaire from Manitoulin Island, Rob Seifried, co-host for the show. Good job. And thanks to Wayne as a party from Custom Taxidermy down in Orangeville from Wildlife Artistry. Join us next week as we hunt turkeys. We're chasing gobblers down on the Bruce Peninsula in Lake Huron. You're watching Fuel the Fire TV.